What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what's really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is having a pretty kick-ass day, up 10.46%, 275 the low, 314 the high. A lot of volume, so 218 million shares being traded, 168 is the average. So coming from a macro standpoint, there wasn't really anything crazy to justify a push higher. You're seeing a lot of chatter coming from various individuals all talking about interest rates. So I think the consensus is that Powell really needs to do a cut, and most likely not for the July but rather for the September meeting, at least a 50 basis point cut. So market seems to be fairly optimistic because of that. There was a deal that was announced, and that's with the Philippines. So Trump cut their current rate from 20% down to 19%. So nothing really crazy, but despite that though, you're seeing a lot of the broader market move higher. And Lucid did actually put out news, to be fair, and it says all Lucid Airs gain access to 23,000 plus Tesla superchargers. 2026 Lucid Air lineup continues range and efficiency leadership. So in reality, this is good stuff. So looks like Lucid, because of various updates, they're kind of extending their range. And I think generally speaking, this is good, coming from a current investor standpoint, coming from a customer standpoint, and potentially as well as the future. But to be fully honest, hopefully you guys appreciate my honesty, this isn't anything overly crazy. We kind of knew that Lucid was going this route anyways with how the configuration of the Gravity is. So this is just, it's expected. So I don't really see this being a crazy buy the Lucid dip type of scenario, but rather what is actually happening across the board is seems as though an orchestrated type of targeted attack against shorts. There is a lot of stocks right now running up a significant amount. So you do have Oscar Health up 10.28%, Bull, you have many names all running up significantly, on which all of them essentially are kind of heavily shorted. Even other individuals posting on Twitter are pretty much self-aware of what is happening. So for instance, even DNUT, Coles, Faraday, all up significant numbers, and all are heavily shorted. So in my opinion, yes, this is okay news, but definitely by no means is this a reason why Lucid is going up. Rather, it seems to be more of a Reddit type of targeted approach against shorts. And so when it comes down to shorts, at the time of doing this video, they are increasing 181,000 shares, but you can kind of tell that they are feeling the pain, because if we kind of look at what happened today, at the peak, they were increasing 15.8 million shares. So they definitely have returned a significant amount, and that, of course, by them returning, is adding some buying pressure, pushing Lucid higher. So big things are coming, and it would be really nice if we had a full-on market squeeze against shorts. So I think that's been one thing that's been a pain in Lucid's side for a very long time, is just the amount of shorts. And you can kind of see that based on this as well, which shows a good representation of how kind of ingrained they are in Lucid. So for instance, yesterday there was 141 million shares being traded. 73 of that was shorts. Day prior, 175 million shares being traded. Of that, 86 million. So shorts make up for a constant between 30 to, I'd say, even in some cases, 60% of the daily volume. So for those individuals out there that says, hey, shorts aren't that big of a deal, they definitely are. So when it comes down to today, they are have returned a lot, but still net amount, they are increasing 181,000 shares. 31.03% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 382.67 million shares overall are being shorted. Looking at the options, market does close in roughly 15 minutes, but 9.59 million in calls, 1.27 in puts. So you're definitely seeing a lot of volume through the options. 53% of all the options transactions though being done are bullish in nature. From the bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be above 350 for this week. Looks as though for the foreseeable future in the week ending August the 15th that it will be above 450. So definitely a lot more optimism is on the table. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 250. As you can kind of see both on the secondary market and also the dark pool, a lot of big transactions. So big money is legitimately buying up Lucid and as well just broader market. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting scenario. So it'd be kind of cool to live through a kind of Lucid type of AMC squeeze, if that makes sense. But right now though, with it at 312, it is currently trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 288 is a strong support. Kind of has been tested over the last couple of trading days, but as what Mark mentioned in that interview yesterday, that's because of retail selling. So shame on retail for selling if you did. But aside from that, 331 is that next strong target / resistance. So that hasn't been touched today. So if you see this nice continued momentum, then again, that's going to be something to kind of watch for. But aside from that, you have 358 and then 402 being the next strong target / resistance points. That's if Lucid's able to continue this good momentum. Aside from all that fun stuff though, there hasn't been any new ratings, no articles really coming out associated to Lucid, rather just broader market optimism. On the chart itself, it is kind of regaining a lot of its strength. So above all the key pivotal moving averages, stochastic RSI is essentially still considered overbought, meaning the first sign of weakness, whether it be specific to Lucid or the broader market, you could see some volatility. And interestingly enough as well, on a side note, Powell did have a speech this morning and nothing crazy was stated, even though he kind of was being charged tentatively with perjury. He kind of didn't really start all that much drama, which clearly I think that's just what Trump might have wanted, maybe, I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see how that all does play out, but it looks as though the market is ready to finally move higher. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One thing I will be monitoring, depending on when and the time frame and kind of the type of questions, maybe I'll do another video because I already did a video earlier today, but this one right here, so the questions being posed from retail to management, I'll give you a quick summarization of that once it is opened. So I did a video earlier today going over some of the key things that people need to ideally kind of focus on and ask and things to avoid. So if you are curious, definitely kind of listen to that video. But aside from that, yeah, it looks like big things are coming. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.